Wait a minute.
Hey guys, it's Rich Burgraff from Rich Burgraff Realty. Hope you're having a great day. Just catching up a little bit on Back to the Future Part 2 when they went to the future to 2015. I'm noticing lately in the real estate market as things have kind of changed a little bit from the craziness we've had over the past couple of years, that people are jumping in that DeLorean and thinking that they're going back to 2008. So I want to talk to you a little bit about how things are different now compared to how they were then. Put your mind at ease a little bit as you're moving forward on new home purchases. So let's talk 2008 for a second. A lot of the main reasons for the crashes that were happening is, quite frankly, people were buying houses that they couldn't afford. The lenders were lending things at crazy rates. You had a lot of balloon payments that were common. It was a big practice back then where you'd not have to pay a whole lot along the time and then pay a big amount at the end. You just don't see those today. But that was what really hurt people because they were like, I don't have the money at this point. And let's face it, back in 2008, if you had a pulse, you can get a mortgage. They really weren't doing a whole lot of the checking and rechecking and making sure that you actually had the money to pay these loans back then, which is what caused a lot of the issues with the banks. That made a lot of the borrowers upside down in their homes when it got to the point of they couldn't pay off these houses and then the values went down. A lot of that happened with, there was some really kind of crazy lending practices going around where they were lending money to anybody. One of the examples of things that you would see back then is you'd see a lot of interest-only loans that were, maybe an adjustable rate after 3 years. So people would think, okay, well, in 3 years, their interest rates are going to go down. I'll be fine. I'm just going to pay interest now, and they're paying these small payments. You'd think they would be saving money, but they were really going into houses that they really shouldn't have bought in the first place. In which case, when that adjustable rate part came into play, they just couldn't afford their mortgage anymore. So that caused a lot of the issues where you saw people literally just walking away from their homes. Now let's bring that to today. Now, the main reason we've seen a lot of the growth in home prices, especially around here in the Raleigh area, simple supply and demand that you would see just normal high school economics. We have tons of people moving to this area every single day, and we don't have enough houses. So slow new builds and just aren't enough places for people to live. So when you look at that supply and demand, the houses that are on the market are costing a little more, and that brought the prices up. But what we would see more, instead of those adjustable rate mortgages that people were hoping the rates were going to be better, a lot more fixed rate mortgages. So people know exactly what their payments are going to be over the next 15, 20, 30 years, able to budget much better, making sure they're getting the right houses for their needs. We talk to the lenders. If you've ever tried to get a loan just more recently, you're going to see that there's a much more rigorous borrower qualification standards, making sure that people are in the houses that they're supposed to be in, that they're affording what they can afford. Right now, the average borrower has about $185,000 in equity. If you go back to 2008, I'm not sure you would necessarily see that. So there's been so many more consumer protection areas coming in, new regulation that happened right after 2008 to make sure that those things didn't happen again. And now if you do have those people that even are going to do an interest-only loan, that's converting to a fixed loan after 10 years. So they're not going to be kind of playing the market and hoping everything is going to be okay, then all of a sudden the rate went crazy up. They're still going to be able to budget for what they need to do. So you can jump in the time machine and go have some fun, but don't jump in the time machine worrying about buying a house. It is a great time to buy or sell your home right now. It really is. Inventory is coming back a little bit. There's a little bit more on the market to look at, have a little bit more time to think about things. And when you get that pre-qualification through your lenders, they're going to tell you exactly what you can afford and what your monthly payments are going to be, and you can budget that out. And then when we go out and look at things, we're going to look at the house that's going to fit your needs and fit your lifestyle. So keep me in mind when it gets to that point. I have some great lenders you can talk to if you have any questions. Again, it's Rich Burgraff from Rich Burgraff Realty. Thank you guys so much, and I look forward to working with you. Enjoy, Marty.